officers in the chamber and guests in the chamber. Bear with me. Gosh. If you wish to ask a question or make a comment when invited by the chair, please press your microphone, which will turn green, and then I'll invite you to speak one person at a time. And obviously, we know the running order in relation to when Ali is going to be able to speak. In relation to the debate, case law is clear. You're not allowed to vote if you've not heard the full debate. But obviously, if you feel that you did hear the full debate, you can vote. Right, item 1, apologies for absence. We haven't had any apologies, but we are waiting for Martin. Not Martin, Carwyn. Oh, there we are. Carwyn has joined us on Teams. Brilliant. So we're all here. Lovely. Agenda item 2 is declarations of interest. Members are reminded of their personal responsibility to declare any personal interest in respect of the matters contained in this agenda in accordance with the provisions of the Local Government and Finance Act 1992 relating to council tax, the Local Government Act 2000, the Council's Constitution and the Members' Code of Conduct. So before asking members if they got any interest to declare, I know Geraint, you wanted to say something as well, please.
Yeah, mine's just a point of clarification in relation to declarations of interest. Ms Chaplin forwarded the objection to the council and she wrote it on behalf of the Cyfarthfa branch of the Labour Party. The only clarification I wish to make for the members sat here is that members of the Cyfarthfa branch of the Labour Party would need to declare, but not all Labour members. But what I would like to remind members of is that they have to approach the matter with an open mind and only make decisions based on the available evidence before them and not on political considerations. If any of the members consider that they can't do that, then they should declare an interest. And that's just a point of clarification for the 3 members.
Thanks for that. So considering all that, I just wanted to ask if there was any interest to declare. No? Lovely. Thank you. Okay. When did you want to? Yeah. Okay, so before we move on to agenda item 3, obviously Geraint wants to say a few words in relation to the responsibilities and options of this committee.
Yeah, this again is just for clarification. So, I mean, the members are fully aware of what they can and can't do. It's for your benefit as well, Alison. The purpose of this committee is it's a committee that consists of 3 members consisting of the chairperson, the vice chair and 1 or 2 other members. The function of the committee is to determine whether or not proposed orders in pursuance of any provision contained within the Road Traffic Regulation Act, which is one of the order that's before them, or any statutory modification, reenactment or amendment thereof, in respect of which an objection and or representation has been received, should be made as proposed. And of course, we have received an objection to proposed order. They have the authority to refer a proposed order to a local public inquiry. Which does not apply here, but they also have the power to amend, vary or modify any proposed order which is before them, to uphold the objection or to withdraw any proposed order. Of course, they also have the authority not to uphold the objection. So it was just clarification so everyone understands what's going on in this committee.
Lovely, thank you for that. Okay, agenda item 3 then is the proposed traffic regulation order, and I'll hand you over to Martin.
Yes, thank you. Everyone should have had the opportunity to read through the report with the various appendices. What I will do is briefly go through the report and summarise. So this report is concerning the proposed traffic order, Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council, various roads, Merthyr, various speed limits, revocation order 2003, and an objection received. So the summary of the report is for councillors to consider an objection received to the order and to recommend the objection be noted but discounted on the basis that the road in question does not meet the Welsh Government criteria, so as to allow the making of the order as intended. And the recommendation is that it be received and noted but discounted on the basis that the road in question does not meet the necessary Welsh Government criteria. So the original report was presented to Cabinet on the 19th of April 2023. and it was resolved that, subject to consultation with the representative list of road users, the council gives public notice of the make the permanent traffic order under the Road Traffic Act. And in the event of no objections being received, the order be approved. If objections are received, the presentation of a report to the appropriate committee for consideration as soon as practical be approved. So this is where we are now with the appeals committee report because of the objection. The public notice was placed in the Merthyr Express on the 18th of May, and obviously we've had the objection, which obviously requires consideration. Officers involved in the 20 miles per hour speed limit project have carefully considered the objection and make the following observations. The Welsh Government guidance document in Appendix 4, which is attached to the report, states that two principal questions, A and B below, should be considered by highway authorities when deciding whether a 30 miles per hour exception should be made. So question A, are there significant numbers or potential numbers of pedestrians and cyclists travelling along or across the road? And if the answer to A is no, then an exception for a 30 miles per hour speed limit may be appropriate. So officers have considered these questions and consider the answer to question A is no. So the engineering department has knowledge and usage of the road gained over the years, and low numbers of pedestrians and cyclists use the road, and a traffic survey has been carried out showing that the traffic flow is also low. The proposed exception for a 30 miles per hour speed limit is appropriate, and officers recommend the advertised order is made as intended. Everyone should have had the opportunity to look at the criteria set out by Welsh Government in Appendix 4. Also in relation to the two questions and the place criteria. And the place criteria is also relevant because the road doesn't meet the place criteria because the place criteria stipulates within 100 metres of a primary or secondary school, 100 metres of a community centre, 100 metres of a hospital, and where the number of residential premises fronting a road exceeds 20 properties per kilometre. So these are the reasons why we feel it doesn't meet the criteria for a 20 miles per hour speed limit, and a 30 is appropriate. So I think I've covered just about everything there.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, Martin. And before I hand over to Ali, I've just realised I don't think I've actually said good afternoon and welcome to the Objections and Appeals Committee today. So good afternoon and welcome. So sorry about that. Okay, so Ali, I'd like to invite you to speak now. And like I said, it's 5 minutes, if that's okay.
To it.
Okay.
Which button do I push? Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to address you today. As I said, I had a more detailed rebuttal paper because I couldn't do it all in 5 minutes, but I understand you can't accept it. Our reading of the guidelines is slightly different to the officers, in that the 20 mile per hour is the default position proposed by Welsh Government. We refer you please to page 31 of your report, paragraph 1.1.2, which states that decisions on setting exceptions to the 20 mile per hour speed limit on restricted roads must be evidence-based. Page 34, 2.1.1 states that a 20 mile per hour speed limit should be set where pedestrians and/or cyclists and motor vehicles mix in a frequent manner, except where strong evidence exists that higher speeds are safe. No such evidence backed by surveys has been provided with this report. Worryingly, on Thursday, 20th of July, on the Cyfarthfa Community Group WhatsApp page, it was stated in 2 posts, quote, I spoke to Highways engineer last week who said they are working in the drawings for chicanes a bit further down, which should be installed this year. When questioned, the reply was, when I spoke to the engineer, he said they have to keep to 30 miles per hour to install the chicanes. They will then re-evaluate and drop to 20 miles per hour if necessary. As no mention of this was made in the report, perhaps you can check this with the appropriate officers before reaching a decision, because I think it's relevant. Also, you may want to ask why the 30-mile-per-hour road signs have already been installed, apparently prejudging your decision today. Page 34, 2.1.3, questions A and B. Question A asks if there are significant numbers or potential numbers if speeds were lowered of pedestrians and cyclists travelling this road. That potential numbers answer is yes. And we state that because the Welsh Government is currently funding improvements to the Swansea Road, including widening the pavement to 10 feet along its length for cyclists and pedestrians. And the A465 improvements include improved cycle routes, which will provide improved access to the Taff Trail via Swansea Road link along Winchvower to Heelgerrig for more cyclists. So question B then applies. It asks, are pedestrians and cyclists mixing with motor traffic? The answer here is most definitely yes. As such, the second bullet point states a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit would be appropriate. There is nothing in this bullet point that indicates the level of mixing that should occur, just that mixing occurs. The report accepts mixing occurs. Page 36 of your report, 2.2, road classification, paragraph 2.2.7, states that exceptions to the 20-mile-per-hour rule on Class C roads would not normally be made. Robust and evidence justification for ignoring this has not been provided with this report. Again, 2.2.7 doesn't specify number of people mixing. Page 37, applying local factors, 2.2.16 states that conversely, there may be sections of the road where there is significant demands or potential demands for walking and cyclists, which do not meet any of the place criteria, but where 20-mile-per-hour speed limit may be appropriate. Bullet point 2 states regularly used access to schools, even though this may be more than 100 metres from the entrance. This route is used by pedestrians to access Heelgerrig Community School. Page 38, 2.2.19 states an exception to the 20-mile-per-hour rule should only be made where protected facilities to be provided for pedestrians and cyclists which meets the ATAG are provided. This report states the road width means footpaths cannot be built along this stretch and they can't meet ATAG approval on it. The report accepts there is a danger to road users at the pinch point because traffic calming measures are already in place there. It fails to acknowledge the level of traffic using the road to access the A465 westbound, which they do from there. I and my brother drive between Heelgerrig and Castle Park every day. We see pedestrians walking on this stretch of road most days. At least once or twice a week, we also come across cyclists and people on horseback on this stretch of road. This increases during the holidays to almost daily. This stretch of road has 28 residential properties and 6 businesses along it. 24 of those are within the pinch point itself. I'd just like to say thank you for listening to me today, and please advise how and when we can expect to be advised of your decision following your deliberations.
Thank you, Ali, and thanks for that. We're hoping that this will be finalised today. All right. Okay. So following that, then just opening up for questions. Councillor Simmons.
Thank you, Chair. Just a couple of questions. Have any road, like the traffic mitigations been done, the surveys been done on that stretch, either end?
Yeah, a traffic survey was carried out. I don't have the exact date, but it was the last couple of years, I believe, and that would have recorded traffic volumes and traffic speeds. Yeah.
Okay. And can I ask then, would that have impacted the officer's report for this? So yeah, would that have fed into?
It gives an indication of the obviously the usage of the road.
Yeah.
It wouldn't give any information on pedestrians or cyclists.
Okay.
But yeah, traffic volumes
Traffic
and
volumes.
yeah.
Thank you very much. No, I'm good. Thank you, Chair.
In our pack, it mentions that signs have been put on the road and slow down, rating for drivers to slow down have been put on the road. Did officers take this into mind? As again in our pack, it says that during pack meetings this has been brought up with the police. How would this influence officers' decisions, seeing that members of the public have already been to the council asking for a reduction in speed on this road?
Yeah, the council has installed a triangular bend warning sign, see on the approach to the bend with slow markings. That was obviously received, something which the council did carry out to obviously highlight the bend. I understand there have been previous requests for traffic calming measures some time ago, but I don't have the details on that. I don't know whether, Carwyn, do you have any details on the request received for that?
No, sorry, I just wanted to add though, within Welsh Government guidance, it does state, and I'll quote, decisions on exceptions should not be influenced by existing traffic speeds. So, yes, we have put slow markings down. From previous sort of queries or concerns that we've had, but as officers, we are just following the Welsh criteria that's been provided to us. And as I say, what it says is decisions on exceptions should not be influenced by existing traffic speeds.
Thanks for that, Karen. So in relation to the history of the road, I know you've mentioned there was a speed survey. And I know you said you don't have the date. Karen, do you have the date of when the last speed survey was done or requested for that stretch of road?
I'm just having a look now through the folder. So I'll come back to you in a few minutes now if I can find it.
Yeah, great. Just you just put your hand up.
Yeah.
Once you find it, I'll come back to you if that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. There's another one. Bear with me. So when when all elected members were made aware of the roads potentially which were going to remain at 30, the ones reduced to 20. I know we were all invited elected members down to Unit 5, and I just want to confirm, were all the members of Cyfarthfa Ward, did they attend and have this discussion with you down in Unit 5? Were they aware?
Yeah, we certainly invited them. I don't know which of the councillors actually turned up. I don't have that information, sorry. I don't know, Carwyn, if you can remember if all the Cyfarthfa Ward councillors viewed the plans.
I can't recall if off the top of my head. I can't recall off the top of my head, no.
Okay, but would it be fair, Carwyn, to say that the elected members were afforded the opportunity to attend to view the plans?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we asked them for dates for them to visit the office to attend to the plans.
Okay, great. Because obviously I just want to make sure that community voice as well has come through with elected members and everybody was consulted. That's great. And I'm not quite sure if there was anything else. Carwyn, did you have that date of the speed survey?
Yeah, it was December 2020, and we did another one 17th of March last year, 2022.
Lovely, thank you, appreciate that. And so that is the evidence that you used as well from those recent ones in compiling all your information for this, yeah?
Yeah, together with obviously local knowledge, the council officers have gained whilst obviously working in that area, carrying out, work on Hillgerrig Road and Tynecastle, Castle Park. Yeah, so obviously we are aware of, the nature of the road and the characteristics.
The other question is in relation to footways. So as far as I can see, there's no footpaths on that road.
That's correct. There's no pavement along Winchell Road.
Because if there's no pavement, I just want the assurances, because obviously you need to, that strong evidence suggesting that the higher speed is safe, but then there's the conflicting that there's no pavement. So I was just wanted to kind of unpick that a bit, that strong evidence. If there's still no pathway, footway, how is it still safe to stay at 30 miles an hour? Yeah, so
The council receives accident data on personal injury accidents, and there's only one recorded, for that road. That was in relation to an altercation between a driver and a pedestrian,
Right.
and some sort of argument rather than any other issue. So that's obviously usually a good indicator. An accident record is usually a good indication of any accident history or accident problem along the road. So that is regarded as low.
Okay. Thanks, Seth. Have you got any other questions, follow-up questions?
Yeah, thanks. You're saying with the accident data, this would include accidents involving horses, etc. Would it?
If it's something which is reported to the police, because we get the data from the police, so it'd have to be reported to the police.
Are there any other questions? Okay. Opening up for comments then. Any comments? No? No comments. Okay. Right, so the recommendation of this report was the objection received to be noted but discounted on the basis that the road in question does not meet the necessary Welsh Government criteria. Can I please have somebody to move this recommendation, please?
Happy to move, Chair.
And a seconder, please.
I'll second that.
Right, lovely. So obviously we've all heard Ali and we've heard the answers provided by the officers. So we'll take this to the vote. No, sorry, Ali. We'll have a bit of a recess.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put a pause on that then. We'll have a bit of a recess before we go to the vote, if that's okay. Can we stop recording for a minute? Thanks.